myself up. I still haven't found my first Blantons. That's different. I really like that. They're like together, like peas and carrots. That's funny. Sometimes accidents are good things. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud. This is not what I expected. And how's it going? It's Thursday and it's time to get into it. Yep, it's a beautiful bourbon, and we finally made it to the end of our series. This is the Bourbcast that almost didn't happen. I was in Columbus this morning, left first thing, got down there, was filming, and had to race back. Got a lot to do this afternoon, had to adult it a little bit, and I don't like adulting. I just don't like adulting at all. But I had to do that, and then got back and started doing some more work and realized, oh my gosh. And I was supposed to have a guest here tonight, and I didn't get in touch with him, and he didn't get in touch with me, so I don't have a guest here tonight. My apologies. But anyhow, so here we are, just a few minutes late. Sorry about that. But finally, we are at the end of our Willett adventure, and it's time. I have never tried this. Just like I have never tried most of what we try here on the Bourbcast. I try to go into everything with a fresh perspective. Why am I putting a lid on this? I don't need the lid on that. I'm going to pour more. Silly me. What's the matter with me? Anyway, Chris is watching. Hey, Chris, how are you? Glad you're here. We're finally wrapping up our Willett series with the bad boy, the big boy, the one that everybody's looking for most of the time. This is the Willett Straight Rye Whiskey, the Family Estate Bottled Small Batch Rye. All the other ones that we've tried have been, I don't want to get at, yeah, they're all bourbons. This is the only rye that I've had. So this will be the first time on this. So I was like, wait a minute. I want to make sure I have this right. But yeah, this will be the first rye. We had the Noah's Mill bourbon. We had the Rowan's Creek Ugly Bottle bourbon. We had the Johnny Drum bourbon. Then the Pure Kentucky and the Old Bardstown, both bourbons. This one is the rye, and this caps off our series. Now, the guest that was going to come tonight was going to bring the pot still, because I don't have any pot still. I've tried the pot still. I don't hate the pot still. And he was going to bring that, and we were going to just surprise you. Well, again, I didn't get in touch with him. He didn't get in touch with me, so no pot still, which is fine. That's fine, because I know y'all hate it. A lot of you hate it. I didn't hate it, but anyway. So this is the same thing out of Willett. It's a little bit different. This is their juice. This is one of the few. Last week we did Old Bardstown, and this is Willett juice. It comes from the distillery. This one is the Willett Rye, and this is their distillate. This is not sourced like all the other ones. And we, again, think that those came from Heaven Hill. This one is not sourced. This comes from the Willett family estate itself. So there you go. There you have it. Let's start getting into it. I don't have any notes. I didn't have time for all that stuff. I don't have any stories. I didn't have time for all that stuff. All I'm going to do is drink a little bit of whiskey and tell you what I think about it. How's that sound? Okay. All right. I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing. Again, this Bourbcast almost didn't happen. I was sitting over there working and then realized, oh, it's almost 7 o'clock. So I had to rush. I'm late. Then I got a phone call. All right. Okay. This probably has the most, I don't even need those, the most astringent nose of all of them in the series so far. Now, fresh crack. Definitely some astringent nose. But some tobacco. Now, that's a note I've gotten off of the other stuff too. Boy, there's something really sweet in there. It's again a fruit note, just like a lot of the other ones from the Willett Distillery. The astringency is now fading, which is nice. Let me give it a little little action. Action! Honeycomb? Not honey. It's not sweet like honey, but it's earthy like honeycomb. Yeah, some plum. Maybe just a slight, there's a little bit of a mint and a little bit of a licorice. They're hidden. They're hidden. You really got to look for them. You got to go through the inventory of possible scents, possible nose scents that could it be? Could it be? Could it be? All right. The more I do it, the better it gets, honestly. I wouldn't tell you that and fib. It gets, ooh, there was a little molasses on that one. Now, I was watching a guy, he was doing some tasting, and he said to stick your nose way down in the glass. Most people say don't do that. Most people waft it. They even say do it with your mouth open, which my nose doesn't work that way. Deviated septum or something. This changes. It's changing every time I nose it. I nose, right? Some leather on that one, but still the fruit notes are there, a little flowery. All right, I'm just going to do it. That wasn't a tasting taste. That was just to acclimate my palate. That is unusual. That's got some flavors that are just like nothing else I've ever had, ever, anytime, anywhere. Pumpkin. I'm getting essence of pumpkin. It's very good. The proof on this one, this is another high proofer. That's not too bad, 110.4. Not real bad. But a lot of these in the Willett line are that, and the old Bardstown was the bottled and bond. That's the lowest proof of all of them in the line. So I can appreciate that. 110 proof. Now let me see if I can give you something else here. Now that the shock of a brand new taste is kind of worn off, I'm getting a little bit back into some of the more traditional notes that you would normally get. It's got some spice to it, some nice rye spice. The pumpkin is still there, especially in the finish. And maybe I'm misidentifying it, but to me, it seems like pumpkin. That's the only thing I can equate it to. That's a first. All right. Aaron's watching. Hey, Aaron. We're doing the Willett Family Rye. This is 110 proof. On the nose, I got it changed a lot on the nose from the time that I just gave it its fresh crack to the time that I started to sip it. And strangely enough, I'm getting pumpkin on the palate. See what else I can find in there. I forgot to turn the damn sound back on. Unreal. Let's start over, shall we? Hold on. Okay. So, hi, it's Thursday. It's beautiful bourbon. Thank you, Aaron, for telling me there's no sound. Let's start over. Take 3. Now you got it, right? Looks like you do. Here, let me, Yeah, I hear myself. Okay. All right, take 3. So this is the... Take 4. It's Thursday, and here we are. And I'm glad you're here, and I'm here, and we almost weren't here. I had a busy day. I started the day in Columbus. I was down filming, and it was a great event. I'm glad I got to do it. Really, really cool. And then rushed back. Had to do some adulting today. I don't like doing adulting. It's not fun to adult. But I had to do some of that, and then got back and started to work on some of the things I filmed this morning and some other things, and then got a phone call, and I was supposed to have a guest tonight, and I didn't contact him, and he didn't contact me, so that didn't happen. And he was going to help me fill out the rest of the Willett line by bringing the pot still. Now, I know a lot of you hate the pot still. I have tried it off of one of those little airplane bottles. I didn't hate it. And it was a fresh crack. But that's been a long time ago. I may not like it now. And definitely there's some interesting flavors coming out of these. Tonight we're doing the Willett Rye. You see I already have some in my glass. Well, it's because for YouTube, what you don't know is that we tried this before and there was some problems, so we're starting all over again. But I'm going to get back into it, and we're going to pour a little bit more. I was late. I was working on that stuff and then realized, oh my gosh, I got like 3 minutes and this Bourbcast starts. I don't even have a bourbon shirt on. I got to go change. I got to get my stuff. Anyway, we're here now and we're drinking. So that's all good. Okay, so this is the Willett Family Rye. This is 110 proof. I don't have a bunch of notes. I don't have a bunch of stories. I didn't do all that stuff. But what I do have is this one. And so this is the only rye in the series that we've done so far. The rest of them were bourbons. Noah's Mill, Rowan's Creek, the Ugly Bottle, the Johnny Drum, the Pure Kentucky, and the Old Bardstown were all bourbons. This is the only rye, and this will close out our Willett Distillery adventure. All right, so starting off, let's get to some nose. And when I first cracked this, the nose was very astringent. It didn't take long for that to go away. And as I continued to nose it, it continued to change. And it was kind of exciting to have it change so quickly over just a minute or so of nosing it. There was a little fruit on it, and that's typical of the Willett stuff. Maybe some plum, maybe a little tobacco. You know, it's just an unusual nose, and it changed and changed and changed. A little bit of honeycomb on it, not sweet like honey, but honeycomb. Really an interesting nose on this. And then we finally decided to give it a guzzle, and the first thing I got off of it, again, it was a fresh crack, and it was the first taste of it that I'd ever had, ever. I've never had this before in my life, and that's the same thing with most of what we try here on the Bourbcast, the stuff that I've never tried, and I'm trying it for the first time with you. What I got on the palate was the strange sense of, like, pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin. So, now, that changed a little bit, and then I started getting pumpkin only on the finish. Well, now it's been a couple of minutes. We're restarting. So let's see where we go here. Thank you, Chris. You were the first one here. You could have said, dude, or did you? Did you tell me and I missed it? Yeah, you told me and I missed it. Sorry. I had turned off the sound at the very start of the Bourbcast because my computer is very loud, has a very loud fan. And I forgot to turn it back on. It's been that kind of day. Been a good day. It's been a great day. It's just been really hectic and busy. So, okay. Let's go back to this. Not getting as much pumpkin on the finish now. I don't mind it. It was an interesting flavor. It's one like I've never had from anything ever before. It was just odd. The funny thing is all the sound issues that I had are only for the stream. I'm going to have everything doing just fine for the camera that's going to go end up on YouTube. I just got to do some editing. Like, I'll edit that out. What I just said, what I'm still saying, all this is going to get edited out for YouTube. I could say something really nasty right now, and YouTube would never know. But that's not me. I don't talk nasty. Unless it's a bourbon I don't like. This one is not one I don't like. It's unusual. I have never tasted anything like this ever. Ever. And this is, what, Bourbcast 157, something like that? I'd have to look to see exactly what it is, but... And I'm going to have to look anyway, because I got to tell you what's coming up next week, which I did not prepare. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Anyhow, everything's a fresh crack, mostly. Sometimes I'll pour it out, pour it back in, but I've never tasted it before when I do this on the Bourbcast. It's the first time. Me and you. For that. All right. Okay, so that'll come up. Let me get back into this. Okay, so now we can start the new edit. Get this off. I don't need this. All right. It's just been that kind of day. A good day. A fun day. And this is fun. It's got a nuttiness to it. Almost like seeds. Like pumpkin seeds. A little bit. So this one is Bourbcast number, oh my golly, 159. 159, which actually equates to 158 different whiskeys we've tried so far, because they did Russell's Reserve 10-year twice. Like with only a few weeks of each other. All right. The honeys are starting to come out of this now that it's set open for a little while. It's kind of nice. It's less earthy than it was before, so more honey than honeycomb now. It's got a little bit of, what is that called? Molasses. A little molasses in there. It's got just a tartness to it, you know. Cinnamons are there. Still got a little bit of that rice spice. It's quite nice. I can't say that this is one I would definitely go to as, man, I just want a nice belt of whiskey, right? All of these in the Willett line have just been unusual enough that you kind of got to be in the mood to drink them. They have that different. It's like Legent or Derringer or just some of those that are just a little bit off the beaten path. Now those are wine based. This isn't. It's just an unusual flavor, and all of them have been this way. They're all bourbons. This is the rye. Now the other thing that I said before, and you missed it because you couldn't hear me, was that the thing that this one and this one have in common is these two are distillate from Willett. The rest of them were sourced. We assume Heaven Hill, but this one is from Willett. I'm tired of trying to hide my burps. Excuse me. And this one is also original juice from their distillate. They used to make their own a long time ago, like in the 40s, 50s, 60s. In the 70s, they started to have some problems. The energy crisis. I got another burp coming. I really don't want to do another one. The energy crisis shut them down, but they still had enough distillate to get them through. But by the time they were ready to start back up, their sources were down, so they had to start sourcing. And they, assumably, got it from Heaven Hill, and that's when the age statement changed, too. A lot of these had 15-year, 10-year age statements, and they don't anymore. Now they're 4 and 5 years, because everything changed after that energy crisis, right? So this is their distillate, that is their distillate, everything else is sourced. Okay. But this is the bourbon and this is the rye, and this is the only time I've ever had the rye, and I do like it. There's some flavors in it I'm having a little bit of trouble finding out what it is. I think maybe raisins are in there too. This bottle has been the strangest bottle because it has changed so much. The nose changed a lot. Hey, Paul, you were supposed to be here tonight. I didn't talk to you, you didn't talk to me. My people didn't call your people didn't call my people. I was telling everybody that you were going to bring the pot still. You were going to be the one that everybody hated. But I'm glad you're here, at least in spirit, Paul. Oh, by the way, Paul, congratulations to Paul. You gotta all clap for him. He is now also a certified bourbon steward. Huh? He did it. He went through Stave and Thief, Moonshine University, and he got his certification. And there you go. Sorry I'm late. Was cooking dinner. Well, it's okay. It's all right. I haven't done that yet. I decided I wasn't hungry, which is good because I like a clean palate when I do this. All right. Speaking of this. So Paul, you can have some of your pot still tonight. Tell me what you think of it. I'll just sit here on drinking the Willett Family Reserve, 110 proof. No, that was supposed to be tonight, bruh. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm happy for you. There was a guy that I knew worked at a local liquor store, and he was envious. I don't know if that's the right word. Let's just say this. He was appreciative of my bourbon steward status, and he said he wanted to do that. So he asked his wife for Christmas, can I become a bourbon steward? And he went all the way, though. He didn't just stop or start with, certified. He went down to Moonshine University, spent the day, had a ball, and he came back an executive bourbon steward, which I still am not. So, and Paul, you got a journey in front of you too. You got to decide if you want to go that far. I want to go that far. I've made it clear that I want to do that. I think it would be a ball. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know how it's going to benefit me in life. But it's fun to be able to say, I'm a certified bourbon steward. I wear my pin sometimes. So, yeah. All right. Oh, somebody tell me, did I add the water yet? If I add a little more, it ain't going to hurt it, right? It's 110 proof. All right. I think I did. But that's okay. The amount of water they add to scotch for a tasting is insane. A lot more than I just added to this. That's faux show. All right. Here we go. Well, good. I'm glad I didn't. Mouthfeel got a little more buttery. It always does. Well, it doesn't always, but a lot of times it does. Adds that viscosity. It's really nice. Really nice. Let's see if it opens it up. First thing I wanted to try was the mouthfeel to see if that had changed. It did. Just a little. Ooh. I'm getting cigars on the finish. That's new. The flavors of this bottle just continue to evolve. You know how you're digging through Cracker Jack looking for the prize? This is Cracker Jack with more prizes than Cracker Jack. It just keeps changing. Keeps giving me gifts. It's amazing. I'm telling you, this is the most unusual pour I've ever had. It's never the same every time you sip it. Let's find out what gift it's going to give me this time. It's like Christmas. Like all Christmases. That's funny. I'm funny. Okay. Quinn's watching. Hey, Quinn, how are you? You've missed the bungle that was at the beginning of the show, and now you're seeing the aftermath of me just being giddy and stupid and slap happy. So stupid. Why are you so stupid? Because I am. All right, quit swishing and start drinking. Really nice cinnamon, honey, a little bit of that pumpkin still, which is just weird, but I like it. I don't like pumpkin spice. So don't get me wrong, I'm not getting pumpkin spice. I'm getting pumpkin. Just a little bit, almost like pumpkin seed. Sorry I'm late, gang. This is one of my favorite ryes. No worries, Quinn, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're sipping on one now. You can help me out because some of these flavors, maybe you can help me with this, Quinn, honestly. What I have noticed out of this bottle, it was a fresh crack. It has changed so much. Like every time I nosed it, it was different. Every time I've tasted it, it's different. It just continues down this train track. And it's not slowing down. And I'm getting pumpkin. That's a first. All right. Those grassy notes from the rye are still there. Again, this pour just continues to evolve and amaze me. All right. And by this point, I've had a pretty decent amount of it with nothing in my belly. Okay. All right. One more. The mouthfeel did improve. It's good. It did open up a little bit. It's giving me some flavors that it's tough to identify. I think there's still raisin, honey, a little bit of pumpkin, maybe pumpkin seed. I'm looking for the vanilla because the vanilla is that sweetness, and I'm not getting that. There is still a fruity note. Might be plum, but it might be that raisin too. Continues to settle down and do different things. A little more honey on that one. A little molasses too. I talked about that. That's still there. Just a very slight, tiny little hair of bitterness. Just, it's there. A little bit of mint on the finish. Maybe a little milk chocolate on the finish. Really unusual pour. I've never anything like this. Dun 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 dun. Bring out the Death Star. Dun 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 dun. 110 proof. This is going to be my last pour of this. Because I'm going to start talking funny. Alright. I brought my spoon. I decided it was undelicate to stir with my finger. I shan't stir with my finger again. Except for this is a lot harder. With a big ice sphere. I'm going around the sphere. The sphere's not moving. There we go. You gotta manhandle that thing. Show who's boss. It has been a wonderful day. I am not going to lie. All right. Okay. How do I like it on ice? Somebody was telling me the other day the Von Payne came out. Now, I have one. I ordered one early when they first started to announce that Von Payne had another one out. It's a black currant and whiskey blend. I had a guy telling me that he really likes it on ice. Okay. I've not tried it. I can't tell you how I like it. That's for later this year. All right, here we go. Still there. Not near as much presence as it had before I put it on ice. Ice, it mutes the flavors on everything. But this one, there's still some stuff there. Would I put it on a cocktail? No. It's Willett. Family Estate. No, I wouldn't. Could you? Yeah. If you really thought you had to, sure. It's hard enough to find around here. Might want to think twice. But if you do want to put it in a cocktail, there are some flavors that hold up. A lot of it, gone. But some of it's there. Let me try to tell you what that is. That tobacco's still there, which is typical of everything from Willett. That molasses still there. A little bit of that honeycomb, back to the honeycomb. Less sweet, more earthy. Still a little molasses. The fruit notes are gone. Much more earthy now. On ice, it's the flowery, floral qualities of it. The fruity qualities just kind of go away. But there's still flavor, which is saying something. All right. Yeah, it could be done. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it because, you can't find this thing. If I could get this bottle anywhere, anytime, I would love to see what it could do in a cocktail. But cocktails are so much about the ingredients that go into it and less about what's the base, unfortunately. It just changes everything so much. But this, I think, could hold up well. It'd be interesting to try it in something that you like. But this completes our Willett Distillery series. And I'm glad that you came to help me out. So next in line, so on Thursday the 15th, that is at least close to, it might be the actual day, but it's at least close to when Kentucky became a state in 1792. Big hint. So next week, we're going to change it up, and we're going to go back to the 1792, but we're going to do something I haven't done yet, which is the 1792 full proof. There you have it. That's next week on Beautiful Bourbon for episode 160. Unbelievable. 160. I had no idea. And you're still here for it, which I really appreciate. It's really nice of you to come back week after week and check out what I'm doing and tell other people about it. I was in the liquor store the other day and people came in and they said they'd saw this and saw this and saw this. And I'm really appreciative. Thank you. So let's keep it going. So on YouTube, at Beautiful Bourbon. Instagram, which is really boring, at Beautiful Bourbon. And then the blog, don't even waste your time. It's so out of date, it's stupid. I have got, I've like 160, this is the low end, 160 people a day from around the world are trying to hack my website, beautifulbourbon.com. Why? What are you going to do with it? Learn about bourbon? Or change it to Pakistani or something? I don't know why people would want to do that, but okay. The highest amount, which was like October last year, I had 40,000 people in a day trying to hack into my website. That's not an overestimation. 40,000 in a day. And there was a trend. I don't get it. Why? Are you hoping that it'll be like a I'm not going to go there. I'm not going there. Never mind. So next week, 1792 Full Proof on Kentucky's 231st birthday. That is next week. I will see you then. Thank you for watching. I deeply appreciate it. Have a great weekend.